Hello everyone, thank you for clicking on this video. My name is Max, and today I'm going to be doing my predictions video for the final episode of Loki. So the first thing I'd like to point out is King Loki that we saw in the trailers. Now, I've seen some theories from Real Rejects and other creators saying that maybe this is the person running the TVA. I really do like that theory, but I don't think that's the case. King the Conqueror is coming into Ant-Man. I do think this would be a good place to set him up. And personally, I think the King Loki we see in the trailers is going to be the Loki that we've been following in the show, the Tom Hiddleston version, the main Tom Hiddleston version, I should say. And he is going to be the king, but he's not going to be a king in the sense of how Loki has perceived a king. And I think this would be great character development for Loki, because I think that is the Loki we've been following running the TVA at the end, and he kind of sets everybody free, because in the past, Loki has always wanted to be a king for power and control over other people and situations, and to kind of be the person that, you know, if anybody wants to do anything, they have to go through him so he can feel like he has all the power. But I think having the Loki we've been following setting everybody free in the TVA and running, you know, acting as a king and actually helping the people who were in the TVA to kind of make their own society outside of this lie that they were told, I think that'd be really cool. And I really hope that is the case, because it would not only give us, you know, possible other future series or seasons for Loki following, you know, maybe, you know, he is the good king and there's, you know, maybe Kang or some other enemy is trying to, you know, take over the TVA again or whatever it may be. I think they could do a lot of storylines with that, but I think it would be good closure for Loki as a character. You know, he got his redemption arc in the Infinity Saga, but I think really seeing his character kind of shed everything he knew and turning into someone that we've seen throughout this series kind of grow as each episode has gone on, I think that would be a great ending to this version of our Loki that we've seen. Now, another prediction I have is that, yes, we will see King the Conqueror. Now, I think he is the person running the TVA, and I can't say that for sure, but I just have a feeling with him popping up in Ant-Man 3, it would be a good way to set him up. But he could be an end credit scene too, and I really don't know which route they would go. But I do think one way or another we will see him, or a very heavy reference to him. And, you know, I just can't see where else he would pop up, especially with all the hints and references that we've seen with, you know, Easter eggs. And especially if you watch some Easter egg breakdown videos, there's a lot of little references to King that have been sprinkled in the show. However, we did think that was the case with Mephisto, and he was not in WandaVision at all. So it could just be Easter eggs, it could be a coincidence, but I do think Kang will pop up in the series in some way, shape, or form. Now, another theory I have is that there is still something more to Mobius. I feel like, yes, he is a good character. I don't see him necessarily turning, but I do feel like we did not see the end of his character in episode 5 as we were kind of led to believe. It did seem like a goodbye to the character, but was still having a whole episode left, and we know, of course, we're going to at least be focusing on the TVA a little bit. I think we'll learn something more about his character, and I don't know exactly what that would be. I just have a feeling that we're going to, you know, maybe either see him on the jet skis going, wow, or, you know, something else. I feel like we're going to see Mobius again, and it will be something impactful for his character and mean a lot, even though it might not, you know, mean a lot in the grand scheme of things. I think we will see him happy, and that'll be a good conclusion, at least for his character in this season. If he does come back for a season 2, if they do a Loki season 2, and according to Clark Gregg, they are, you know, working on ideas for it, then I think, you know, we can still build off of that character, but it would be cool to see a conclusion, at least of him being happy at the end of this season 1. Now, the final prediction I have for the finale of Loki is that we will somehow make sense of all these different things that have built up from these shows. So with WandaVision, we saw Wanda with the darkhold at the end, and for anybody who's seen Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., we know that the darkhold is not a good thing to have. Just nothing good comes from it. And I think Wanda was tapping into the multiverse to find her children that I think in some timeline they are real. And I think she's trying to extract them from that timeline and to bring them into our timeline so she can have her kids back, since they were just a product of the Hex, basically. And whether she gets Vision back too, or if White Vision will come in, who knows, but I do think she is trying to get her kids back. And we didn't see a lot of this, magic stuff in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, but I do think that will build up into its own thing. But when it comes to Loki, we've been focusing a lot more on timelines and magic and all of these kind of connective ideas. And I think it would be, not necessarily bad, but a missed opportunity for them to not have, something to reference that in Loki, because I feel like since they've been focusing so heavily on magic, there might be some tie to Wanda. And I do think the multiverse will open to some extent at the end of this show. Now, I thought this happened with the bomb timeline in episode 2, but it looks like, at least with what we saw, and I believe it was episode 4, with Loki and Sylvie's Nexus event, where they were creating the spike because their relationship, or whether they were, accepting death, they were having their Nexus event, and it looked like when we saw the timeline, the chaos had stopped. So I really wish they focused on that more if it doesn't come up again. But maybe the bombing of the timeline was the opening of the multiverse and Wanda was tapping into that. Maybe that was something on its own and the multiverse is further opened at the end of the show. But I do think we will continue in some way, shape, or form Wanda's story, which will expand into Loki's story, which will further go into Spider-Man No Way Home and lead up to the huge explosion of the multiverse in Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. So that's about all I have for now. Thank you so much for checking out this video. If you like it, please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know in the comments below if you have any predictions for the finale of Loki, and I will see you in the next video.